Hey everybody, it's Sunday night, week 12 of the 90-day Fast Track Accountability Group. Week 12, Haskins.
Tearing it up.
Week 12. It went by so fast. I can't believe it's the
Everybody's
last
on fire,
week.
man. Kicking butt.
Oh my God.
Tearing it up.
Okay, so I'm super excited, and I think this is probably one of the most fun meet-ons that we get to have because it's all about questions, Q&A, right? We get so many different questions through, Facebook or, people will PM us and people will email or just...
PMSs.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my
Is that what you call it when they met?
PMU.
What did I say?
PMS is a whole nother category.
Is that what I said or
that's
what you
That's
said?
what feminine takes care of, all right, is PMS. So, but PMS.
I don't know what it, now I don't even know what I said.
Or a DM, but it's not PMS.
But they personally message us
just for clarity
on
purposes.
Facebook with questions. So we're going to answer those questions to the best of our ability, or maybe it just wasn't clarified or anything for any questions. So we're super excited about that. So we have some questions here that people have emailed us and asked us through Facebook that we're going to go for. We're going to have fun. Are you ready?
Yeah, so it's still going to be questions, but we're going to turn it it's still questions with training attached to it. Because, there's always certain things that you feel like you're covering really well, but then there might be some areas that people are just like, man, I get that part, but can I get some more clarity around this? And that's kind of where some of these questions come from. So
okay, so the first question that we have is actually from Emily, and it says, I'd love to hear more on strategies to go through the whole process of prospecting and recruiting from a cold market through online virtual appointments and basically, cold market and from a distance and so forth. So,
and the first thing I'll say about that, and I'm going to let Trinity go off on this, is that if you're already prospecting cold and that you want to do that exclusively, that means you're already cranking a lot of checks. So that's number one. That's all. If you're already cranking a lot of checks, man, then you should be like, how do I master talking to people while I'm out? Which is an awesome. Everyone needs to learn how to do that, you guys. And so we're going to talk about that really quick. But the bottom line is, if you've already ran through your list of 300, names of people that are already on your cell phone, which means you're already cranking checks consistently with the company. If you haven't done that yet, I'd be more than happy to have you turn those names over to me, and I'm sure I will find some of your friends to do this business. And so, but my point on that is that why would I be so confident that I'll find some? It's like your people would be cold to me, right? Sure. Because they don't know Cullen or Trinity. But I'm that confident that I'll find some people off of your list. But you're not confident you would find people off of your list. Now I'm not saying that that's that person's question, but I'm just addressing that right now because the bottom line is too many people again have people on their cell phone that they have not contacted. Meaning they have people that would, whether they do the business or not, guys, you're missing the point. If you don't, it's like customer and lead me to some other people. Even a customer and lead me to some other customers. And then through that, you're going to find some new partners. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Well, and I do agree with you. It is a lot easier to go through you're welcome, your names list. Why? Because you have credibility with these people, where you
Hopefully.
At least know these people, right? And it is, it's definitely more, I shouldn't say challenging to go through a cold market. And I do love the cold market because you'll never, ever, ever run out of names. But you may have to go through some more people and some more numbers doing it that way. Maybe not. Depends on you, right? But
why would you need to go through some more, though?
Well, because they don't owe you anything.
They owe you nothing.
They don't.
They don't know you.
Or
they have to get to know you. You have to build a relationship with them.
Where the people on your names list, you already have some type of relationship. So working at a distance, Emily, I would say now with the technology, it's so much easier, right? You have Zoom. And so the way that I handle that is basically just doing just like a one-on-one at Starbucks. If I'm meeting the person in person, you can really build that relationship through Zoom meeting or whatever technology that you want to use or you feel comfortable with, which is really something that I have been trying to master here just this year alone. I've I've upped my game on the computer and Zoom and all that. When you say I'm doing a lot better.
A lot better.
A lot better.
Word. Yeah, I mean,
So if you don't know it, you gotta learn it.
That's
a little
right.
bit.
I mean, Trinity, like a year ago, she just learned how to send email. So we've come a long way in the past 6 months. In 6 months.
I can shop online. I can check those reports.
All right,
so okay.
But part of the deal is everything we do face to face is what we do online.
Definitely.
That's the answer to the question, really.
Yep.
In the end, right?
Yep.
Because in the end, if I'm going to have somebody fill out a health survey, I'm going to have them fill out a health survey, whether we're face to face or I have them do it online, or I call them, or we do a Zoom and I can see them face to face, and we fill out the survey right on my screen, and they fill, I just had to fill it out. Now I've got it, and now I can direct traffic off of that health survey.
Absolutely.
Right? It's the same thing, and if you're exposing the business, you do the same thing.
Yep. And we talk about prospecting and recruiting. In another meet-on that we've done, and you're welcome to go back and watch that. I kind of just go through some different approaches and what I say. But the bottom line is when you're out and you get that name in your phone and their phone number, they gave that to you for a reason. And they wrote down their name and number because they did keep their business options open, right? Or they, if I could honestly show you a way where you could make an extra $1,500 a month, let alone a week, without giving up what you're doing right here at the store or the restaurant or wherever you met them, would you take advantage of that? So when I call them back, I just basically say, hey, this is Trinity. I met you at XYZ. You had mentioned to me that you kept your business options open, or you had mentioned to me in whatever we talked about, their hot button was that you really wanted to stay home with your kids, or, whatever it might be. And I would love to buy you a cup of coffee, or I'd love to meet you at Starbucks, have you evaluate what we're doing with the Unfranchise, what we're looking for, and, it may be right for you, it may not, but you definitely know some people that this might be right for. You definitely know the right people that we need to talk with. When would be a great time for us to go ahead and, book that appointment? I got Tuesday open or I got Thursday open. Which one works best for you? And I just call and set it up. I don't show the plan through the phone. I don't do anything like that. I just call and set it up, whether it's through Zoom at a distance, or if I can meet them for coffee or whatever it might be. Go ahead.
Yep. So I'll piggyback on that. So the other day, Trinity came home and she had given me a number and said, hey, I met this guy. Here's the deal. He was my waiter down in Sarasota. Can you give him a call? Sure, I'll give him a call. So I gave him a call, right? So here's how I gave him a call. I gave him a call. He didn't answer. I left him a message, right? And a lot of times if people don't recognize your number, expect them not to answer, all right? Because that's the world we live in as well. They're like, I don't know what this number is. And with the way telemarketing is today, and you're on the do not call registry, but same token, these telemarketers still, for some odd reason, can call us every day. It's kind of a weird deal. And they come up with the same area code. Who is this? Anyways, so this is why people aren't answering. It's not personal.
Right.
That was my point to what I was sharing.
Hey,
it's not personal, so I don't get attached to it, right? But at the bottom line is like, hey, Tim, hey, this is Cullen Haskins. Cullen, my wife met you the other day when she was at the restaurant. She said you were her waiter. She said she thought very highly of you. Mentioned that you were doing some sales and marketing outside of waitering. And so she mentioned that I should give you a call and maybe you and I should meet up at some point. So if that's the case and you're ambitious and you're looking, then, hey, give me a call back. If you really just gave my wife your name and number because you wanted a date or, you wanted a bigger tip, then no need to call me back, dude. Have a great day. And that was the message, right? And so, anyhow, you think he called me back? No, he did not call me back, just so you guys know. So,
fill in that bean jar. It happens to us too.
That's
right?
it, because sometimes it's like you get to a point, you guys, where you have so much fun with the business that it's like, here's the deal. If he was ambitiously seeking a better quality of life and he was looking and he remembers Trinity, right? The bottom line is he's calling me back and he's laughing at my message saying, dude, that was pretty hilarious. I'm going to steal that, right? He's not going to get offended by that message. But if he's given the name and number thinking he was going to get a bigger tip, which, of course, we never do, by the way.
We do tip.
All right?
We always tip very well.
We
tell them we're going to tip you either way.
We tip very well based on the service.
Sure. Not
based on, I think they're going to be great in Market America.
Definitely.
Right. No, we never do that. So, because, why do we never do that? Because we've done that and it never worked. Right. So, therefore, we don't. So, we're trying to save you guys a lot of money right here. So, in the end, though, either the person's ambitiously interested or they're not, right? And that's the deal.
And it's really about everywhere you go, you can get names One of my favorite lines that I use all the time is from Elizabeth Weber. Hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Phoenix. Are you kidding me? I'm expanding my business in Phoenix. Really? I mean, you should write down your name and number. I'd love to share with you what I'm doing, what we're looking for. You know what? It might be right for you. If not, that's okay. But you might know who I need to talk to. And oh, sure, hon. Let's either way, I'll make it profitable for you all the way around. Write down the name and number everywhere you go.
Yeah. The only time Trinity doesn't use that is he's like, where are you from? They're like, Alaska, and she's like, yeah, I don't know. That's freezing in Alaska. Are you kidding me? But if somebody's just like, hey, where are you from? And they're like, oh, we're from Mexico. Trinity's like, oh, I'm expanding. Especially when we lived in Chicago, right? It was the middle of winter. Like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Mexico. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm expanding my business.
We're always expanding our business there, right? Do you guys get this? And
so what time of the year
you do want to, if you do sponsor the right person there, you do want to be willing to travel there. And of course, the GMTSS is also going to be very, very important for them to plug into, for you to plug your people in. So,
hey, while we're going through some of these, by the way, when we go through these, if you guys have any other questions and you didn't email them into us, and we have some more time at the end, we'll address it. But
sure.
If you have a question that came up for you during the 90-day fast track, post it in here. Right,
here is another question. I know that Trinity loves Lauren, and so do I. I feel the same way. Lauren, she's amazing.
Who doesn't love Lauren, right?
Every time I hear Lauren, it gives me an instant lift. Yes, I agree. Lauren Reidinger, she's thebomb.com. What are some of your other go-tos? Do you have a mantra, and what is it? Okay, so, man, who are some of our other go-tos? I love our leaders within Market America. Mm-hmm. I love them. I respect them. David and Stacey Whited have been our personal mentors. I just think the world of both of them. They are a huge part of just what we have, taken so many snippets from them. Elizabeth Weber.
Yeah, and everybody who's in this fast track, anybody who's captaining, between Barb Bolt, Sandy, Steve Rodriguez, right?
Just so many leaders.
Dr. Cheryl.
Of course. I love learning from different leaders all the time.
Anybody who's making money with the company and consistently making money, man. If you're a senior master coordinator or higher, or a master coordinator higher, you're probably somebody we've paid real close attention to. Maybe you don't know it, but we have, man. It's like, ooh, that was a great nugget.
We're always watching videos or learning from everybody.
Always learning.
And one of my go-tos is I love Danny Johnson. If you don't know who Danny Johnson is, for me personally, she's just, she has a lot of free stuff. If you go to DannyJohnson.com, DANI, and she's just, I just really relate with her. So that's one of my favorite. And do I have any mantras? And what is it? I didn't know what a mantra was, and so I asked Colin this morning. I'm like, what is a mantra? I need to see what my mantra is, so I hope I get this right. But what, like different sayings, I guess is what a mantra is.
It's an out loud verbal projection.
So we have lived by this. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yeah, that's a big
when in doubt, blurt it out.
That's it.
We always say love people where they're at.
Boom.
We've talked about that. With 5 kids, what do we always say? It is what it is. And one of my favorites, and I'm doing this, just all the time, is God's got this. God's got it. So anything you want to add to that?
Sometimes you got to just let go and trust, right?
Yeah.
That's the key. Let go and trust. And even for Trinity and I'll be honest, there's times where we're like, oh my gosh, what is the plan here? And we're trying to let go and trust, but we're kind of confused about what's going on. But in the end, we just chosen to surround ourselves with powerful people who are heart-centered people, who love people, and have their heart in the right spot. And so that puts you on the freeway of great things to happen.
Absolutely. Okay. Third question is from Mr. Giroux, Mr. Eric. Is what is the etiquette of three-way calling and the reason behind three-way calling?
Right. I mean, well, the reason behind it is third-party credibility, right? Because you're only one person. So if you're the only one doing all the work, then that's a clue at where you're at on the leadership, chain. Are you a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 leader? And it's all about leverage. See, so you're leveraging stories. You're leveraging other examples. Okay, so we're always trading with other people too. People within our team, people cross line, and so people people that we trust and respect as well. I mean, we're not afraid to reach out to anybody because we know we will return the favor, right? So like this past week, it was like, hey, could you do a three-way call for our person? And then we're more than happy to return the favor. And that leader was like, absolutely. And they did a three-way call with our person to their person because they were an awesome fit. And it was a done deal, right? The person moved forward. They're ready to set up their account. Everything's rocking. And of course, more than happy to return the favor. The power is in the three-way phone call of the third-party credibility, though. That's really what it's about, because when someone can talk to someone else, hear from someone else, and ask questions of someone else. Hey, what did you do right? What did you do wrong? What would you do if they had to do it all over again? Those are some go-to questions that you should be feeding your team, and your team should be asking people. When you go to like when we're on MA World Conference, or not, I keep saying World Conference, International Convention, in a couple of weeks, guys, when we're in Greensboro, the number one thing we want all of our team to do is to go talk to other people. Go talk to you guys. And you should be telling your team to come talk to us and talk to other leaders, right? And the more they can go network and talk to other people, which is so really true. Why we do the three-way calls, because we're not all physically together all the time. But my team can hear from me all the time. Like I don't need to be doing like major meetings with my team while I'm there, other than trying to connect with people who are in different states I don't get to see all the time. Obviously, having a meal, breaking some bread, talking to some people is always great. But I want to go meet other leaders. I want to go talk to other people.
Yep, definitely. And we talk about that on the follow-up three-way calling and follow-up meet on as well. And so the beautiful thing, when you can put people together that are like-minded, you're not in convince mode.
Common ground.
Common ground. Like-minded people, common ground. And you're not in convince mode where you could put them on the phone with, maybe Sid Dallaire, who's a business attorney, and that's what he did for a living, is evaluate different businesses. It automatically takes our business from here to here with that prospect. If I'm talking to somebody, if I got my hair done, or I talk to somebody about getting my nails done or anything like that, and they have allergies, I'm not the one selling that person the product. I can tell them about the product. I can share the information about the product. But if I hook them up with Roxanne Reed, who got off her Claritin and has been off her Claritin for over a decade because of our OPC product, and this person has bad allergies, what happens is her belief level goes from here to here because Trin didn't sell it. Roxanne shared her story. So that third-party edification is so, so key. And so when you are introducing somebody, I think that's another part of the question is the edification of it.
Yeah, but I think I don't know if it was just edification, but it was etiquette. So the big thing I think where he was going with this was if I call you and I'm asking you to do a three-way call for me and a person I want you to meet, right? So I need to let you know what my objective is to this call.
That's true. Yep.
And if you skip that step and you're like, okay, so I've got Tim Smith on the phone, and by the way, here's Barb Bolt. Hey, Barb, are you there? Go ahead, Barb. And Barb's like, okay. Well, if I didn't spend time with Barb prior to making the call of who Tim is and what my objective is and why I wanted her to do the three-way call and where I think they are going to connect and what I think he's looking for in the business and the next steps are, right? So you got to be prepared with the next steps are, because me as the person setting up the call, I may take that at the end because I know what's going on in my area better than somebody who might not be in my area helping with the three-way call. But it still would be great for the person I'm introducing them to as the expert from afar to say, but no matter what, you got to come to convention, man. Is there any way you can come to convention with us? And this is where we do a lot of three-way calls. Like right now, this week, you guys, every single one of you should be jumping on the phone and figuring out how many more people you're going to get to come to convention with us. And that's like the rubber meeting the road. The next 3 days, 4 days, like this week right here, man, who else can you get to come with you to convention and commit or recommit to their reason why they're doing the business, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But sometimes you got to do a three-way call, though, with somebody.
And that would say there's a couple things I'm thinking of too, because that's one thing we're definitely going to talk about is one trim tip. If I could give you a trim tip, and this is one thing that we do and we've always done at convention is we're absolutely going to make those calls and try to get everybody there. But if you have some prospects that are in your bean jar and are not, they're able to go with you, right? And they just couldn't get there, but maybe come to Miami and you're talking about that or whatever it might be. We would always have a named list and phone numbers handy, or their cell phone number right there and easy access in our cell phone, so that we can dial them up. If we run into a leader in the elevator, if we are going to the bathroom and we're in the bathroom with a six-figure earner, we're like, oh my gosh, you know what? It's Barb Bolt. Holy cow, Barb. And then I'll tell them about, hey,
especially if you're sharing the toilets next to each other. Perfect time to get a three-way call.
If you got 2 seconds, it's Barb and you and I, we're in the bathroom, we're on the same schedule, girlfriend. So we're in there.
Some leaders see Trinity coming, they're like, oh no, Trinity's going to want a three-way call with someone.
Hey, Barb, and I'll give her a snippet. Can we call? I just want you to say hi. But when I introduce Barb Bull, I'm going to say, if Cheryl, if you're my prospect, I'm going to say, hey, Cheryl, it's Trent. Even if Cheryl doesn't pick up the phone, I'm going to leave her a voicemail. Hey, Cheryl, it's Trent. Hey, I'm in Greensboro. I ran into Barb Bolt. She's a huge leader out in Wisconsin, multi-six-figure earner with our company. Oh man, I wish we could have caught you, but I just wanted to introduce you to her. She wanted to say hi real quick. And I'm going to put Barb on the phone, and Barb's going to leave her a 2-minute commercial. Trinity, she knows, maybe she'll edify me a little bit right back. She knows what she's talking about, or, here's my story. Pay attention. Market America is life-changing. Hope I get to talk to you soon. Bye. Because when that prospect gets home, they're like, man, these people are incredible. So one of the biggest trend tips I can get for you is to get people on the phone with other people. And we're definitely doing that now leading into convention. We're doing lots of three-way phone calls. We are...
well, and sometimes the three-way phone call, by the way, is like, 10-minute call. Sometimes it's 40-minute call.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done them where it's been an hour call based on their questions, right? So I see here in the comment here, Jamie Allred, Grandma J, commented in about her guy moving forward in the process of a three-way call with her the other day. And interesting enough, a big chunk of the call in the beginning, you guys, was, again, you're trying to get to know the person. I'm trying to get him to trust me, right?
Yep.
We're trying to build this relationship together. And in that process, he kept leaning towards trying to get, a golf course to be either shop local or to be able to book tee times through shop.com's website, for instance, okay? And all of us know that that's all good, okay, but that's small potatoes, man. In the end, we need that golf course. I want them to, be giving out digestive enzyme sample packets. I want to, the daily essential packets, the trim tea packets. I want to get them moving BV products, man, and here's the deal. So I had to get this guy. I had to listen. I had to answer his questions, but then I had to say, but if I was you, it really depends what you're looking for out of the business, this and that. Well, he wants to make some money with this, right? So then I started talking about our BV products. I talked about leveraging Jamie Allred. Why? Because Jamie already does this with gyms. She already moves a lot of products, and the gyms trust her to service the clients, right? And so I'm edifying Jamie in the process of three-way call, but I'm also letting this guy know I'm sticking to my guns on the fact of what I know is going to get him paid the fastest. I don't sit there and just agree with somebody and say, that's great, and then he gets him signed up with Shop Local, and then he gets a commission check for 50 cents or something. And he's like, okay, this isn't going to get me out of my job anytime soon. I've got to get somebody focused on where we need to get him to go, because that's what Jamie is trying to accomplish with this guy, but she needs him to talk to someone else. See, that's where all of a sudden now we got the ball rolling that direction, full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
That's it.
Well, in which this is answering another one of our questions is what is your biggest Market America business building tip? And this is it. We both talked about it today. This is Cullen's. This is mine. Is whatever you can do right now, you guys, there's 2 weeks leading into our convention. Pick up the phone and make one more phone call, down to the last minute. We all have that friend from high school where we can pick up the phone and go, hey, how you been? One of your best friends that you grew up with. What are you doing August 9th through the 12th? What are you doing? I don't know, not much, just working. Oh my gosh, calling sick. Girls trip, I want you to come to Greensboro, and what are you talking about? It is that important. Or you might call somebody who's been on your names list for quite some time. You showed the business to. Maybe some time has gone by. Maybe 6 months to a year's gone by. And you could give them a call and say, hey, do you remember when I started that business? I have to apologize to you. What are you talking about? I have to apologize. This business, I've spent the last 6 months, I spent the last year learning my unfranchised business. This business is much larger and much more than I ever thought it could be. And I really will be retiring within the next 2 years. Or I will be home with my kids within the next 2 years. Or I will be at a 6-figure income within the next year. Whatever your out loud verbal projection is, right? So I just wanted to give you a call. I'm going to Greensboro. I'm so serious about this. I'm actually going to Greensboro. I would love to invite you to come with me because this business is much bigger than I even gave it credit for when I shared it with you last year. Because it's your conviction, you guys. It's your belief. It's your passion about where you're going and what you're doing with it that they just might say, you know what? Okay, I'm coming, right? And so I just really want to encourage all of you. If you have people in the funnel right now, maybe money might be an issue. I would much rather have somebody come to convention with you right now than actually do their contract. Seriously, right? Seriously. We also have people that things change where maybe they purchased a ticket, maybe they cannot come at this point. If somebody has extra ticket, do whatever you can do to get a new person in that seat, get a butt in the seat. Maybe somebody on their team can use it that wasn't going to go. Maybe they could work something out with them. At this point, you guys, I would strongly encourage all of you to be creative problem solvers. And what do I mean by that? Not only are you picking up the phone, but you might do a 3-way phone call to book the airline tickets. Well, I don't know if I could find a flight this late. They're going to be expensive. You get your butt on the shop.com site, go to Cheapo Air. You got Hotwire, you got Priceline, you got Travelocity. You got so many more, hotels.com. You get it. Book their flight. Line people up to ride, share together, to carpool together.
So don't leave anything to chance is the whole point, right, guys? You have to take control. It's your business.
Put people in a room together, 10 people in a room, whatever you have to do to get them there. That's our biggest business building tip.
Yeah, because this is all stuff that we've done.
Absolutely.
Clearly today we're not 10 people in a room. But when we were new, we stayed in some places that we were like, who found this place? Like, what are we doing here? And it was like
there.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and man. But and again, I think it separates. And you've heard us say this before, but residual income is really reserved for the people that are willing to pay the price, do the work, make it happen. So you can't say, well, I'll do this if this, and there's all these exchanges you're trying to make of what's the least amount I have to do to have the most amount of success. And for a lot of you, we're preaching the choir. Because why? You guys are here. Yep. You're on. You are committed. You're finishing the race. But this is coaching you can bring back to the people you're coaching and you're working with on your teams. All right. But the bottom line is stop with the what's the least amount I have to do mindset. And you have to create a habit of I do whatever it takes. And when you have that habit, look, every single person who's on this with us, this 90-day fast track, captains and even people, I know that there's people, captains who have people on their team that even make 6 figures within this fast track actually. But the bottom line, every single one of us had to make sacrifices and had to do things that we were like, man, that was kind of crazy, but we did whatever it took. And driving and packing a car up and loading people up and man, you have to have I am going to do whatever it takes attitude. And listen, I will say a big piece of convention for us is what we make of it, okay? What you see on stage and what's going to happen at the event is always incredible information. You're going to see that our company is going places, and it's the bigger than you ever thought it was, like Trinity already said. However, at the end of the day, it's hanging out, man. It's rubbing elbows with Dr. Cheryl Duchess and Carol Doreen and different leaders and hanging out. And again, introducing people to different people's teams and going to the Gala Ball, and it's just having fun, man, because we're hanging out with other people who are going where we're going, man, and that success breeds more success.
All those little things.
Some of the biggest lessons will come off of the stage for some of you this coming convention. I'm just telling you that. Meaning in a conversation, and it could be in the women's room, I guess, like Trinity's. I mean, men in the men's room, it's like, 2 rules, right? Like don't talk and don't look down, but in the women's room, it's like, they have full-blown seminars going on in there and next to each other in the pooper and like exchanging phones under the door, I guess, and whatever. But see, that could be the biggest magic moment is when you're in the pooper, all right? But whatever, something's going to happen where you're like, billionth of a volt, I can do this business. I am killing it. I am making it happen. All right.
All of those little things, that was very well said, Gaskins, let me tell you. All of those little things, those are the magic moments. Those are the fun memories that we all are creating. It's part of the journey.
Well, because like Jared says, all the nuts rise to the top.
All the nuts rise to the top.
And the nuts are willing to do whatever it takes.
That's right. Which leads me to our next question.
All right.
How do you build this business with kids?
Simple. You get a sitter. Or you divide and conquer. I mean, really, that's the deal. Anybody who says, I want to create a business that's going to generate me a ongoing income of $1,000 a month, let alone $1,000 a week, but I'm not willing to sacrifice what I would have to sacrifice if I had a career or I had a job that was going to pay me that much money, okay, which means I need to get a sitter, right? In the end, yes, you can be creative. Yes, we can meet someone here in Florida at the beach and meet them there and like show them. I can meet someone at the golf course and show, talking themes while we're playing golf. I can be going fishing and talking themes with somebody. So somebody says, Colin, would you come fishing with me? I'm going to bring out my top prospect and could you talk to him while we're fishing and da-da-da. Absolutely. All that can work, right? But in the end, you're going to do those things. It's creative problem solving again, whatever it takes, okay? But the bottom line is your mindset is my reason why is more important than, the money, right? So the $1,000, $2,000 a week that you're going to be earning from doing whatever it takes to make it happen is all about figuring out how to make exchanges or sacrifices to get the job done, not use, like we said in an earlier meet on, not use your reason why as your why not, or make excuses around it. So we just use them as our reason why.
We always have used them not as our excuse, as our reason why. And to me, this question, we do get this a lot. And with 5 kids, this is all that our kids know is mom and dad do Market America, right? They'll understand Cooper's never known us to have a job or anything like that. So this is a whole nother meet on by itself. But two things that I'll say is because sometimes, there's some parents on here, maybe you're through that phase of life, so I'm not going to spend like a whole 40 minutes on it. I could spend an hour on it. But what I will do is share a phone call that I did. What do you call it? Was it a Zoom? Was that what I did with Colton Whited? I did a Zoom. I don't even know what it's called. So I did a Zoom not that long ago where Colton Whited actually was asking me these questions. And
because he has people on his team and they wanted answers, and so he didn't wait around and try to figure it out. He don't have kids yet, so he is like his team is already hearing from who? His mom and dad. So then he's like, hey Trinity, hey, could you do this for me?
Yep.
See, it's just like a 3-way call.
Absolutely. So we will post that if you guys want. We'll post that on the 90-day fast track.
What's on our
accountability
YouTube? It's on the YouTube channel.
It's on the YouTube channel, and we'll post it on the Facebook team page as well. And then if you would like, you may go watch it. And there's just lots of, again, creative problem solving. You want to be a problem solver, and maybe exchange with a different parent if you don't have a sitter, or, there's everything from dream boards on there. But here's the deal, is you cannot tell your kids to shoot for the stars if you're not willing to do it yourself. That's the bottom line, okay? You have to lead by example with your kids. You have to lead by example with your Market America team as well. Okay? All right. So next question that we have is...
So our biggest tip on that too, by the way, so Trinity's saying that you got to go to convention, right? That's your biggest tip, right?
That's my biggest tip.
And that's my biggest tip too. It's all about the GMTSS. It's all about, linking arms. And it's about getting out your getting started guide and checking off boxes along with your, weekly checklist. Like, get committed, stay committed, like Trinity said, right? Like if you're committed, You're committed. There is no like, I'm committed this week, I'm not committed next week. It's like, I am committed, whatever it takes. And then that's when the fruit starts to come. And there's no other way to explain it other than you just have to be committed.
Yep. Do we have time for one more question?
We do. We're 9:53.
Okay. Okay. One last question. I need to get better at closing a prospect without feeling like a used car salesman pitch. I do pretty good at explaining the business, but the close feels awkward. Sometimes it feels like I didn't push enough, and other times it seems like I pushed too hard, trying to find the right balance and get better at it. I think with this, you just want to make it as simple of a decision as possible, right? And so when you are explaining and you're kind of coming in for a landing, I always say, so the concept, lots of information, but I'll tell you what, the most important thing and the only thing that you have to get today is that you chose the 2 to 3 year plan versus the 45-year plan. That's the only thing I want you to walk away with from here on out. Did I spark enough interest with you to get more information about the 2 to 3 year plan? Did I spark enough interest with you, to look at this another time?
I think when you hear the word, I mean, even some of you right now, I'd be interested to know. But even hearing Trinity read the question, and it says closing people. When people hear work like I have to close people, all right, it does come across as like I'm this like hard salesperson, right? Because I got to close them, right? And you kind of feel like, ooh, close, pressure, okay? So I think a reframe is very important there because it's not a matter of closing in the traditional sense of I'm always closing. But you are. We're always closing what? The next appointment. We're always closing the next appointment, whether it's a 3-way call, whether it's getting them to lead me to some people that they trust and respect, and we're going to go show them the business, whether I'm closing them into taking a health survey, I'm closing them into leading me to people, to show them the business plan, or I get them to host their own wellness event. We're closing them into what I call path of least resistance based on where we know they need to go if they want to move forward with us. And so it's not a matter of, hey, do you want to move forward with me? Well, that's kind of a tough decision for them to make. They don't have enough information. They don't know enough. You maybe just showed them the plan one time, right? So, but what they can say yes to is filling out a health survey. All right. I was wondering if you help me out, fill out a health survey. I was wondering if, and then you're always asking them to sample some products, right? So if they're sampling some products, they like the product, I'm going to follow up. Everybody I meet with is going to book a follow-up phone call. Why? Because I know you're going to have questions. I know you're going to, once you see what I see, I know you're going to be excited, right? And so if we're already setting expectations and setting intentions around what's going to happen in our meeting with that person, then in the end, it's just as simple as booking the next step. Hey, based on that, like Trinity said.
Yeah, they already said, yes, the 2 to 3 year plan. Yes, would you like some more information? Yes, I would.
That's right. So if we sparked interest and they're already thinking, as simple as this, did we spark some interest? Yes. And if they say yes to that, then there are so many ways you can go.
The next step is.
But the next step is, and I know I want to do something result producing activity. What's going to get them paid the fastest? Well, BV, right? Retail profit. What if they don't have any money? I met with the guy this past week, talking with him. Guy's like, look, I want to get on the daily essential kit. He's got a brain injury that's like 20 years old and this and that. He's on disability, but he's literally has no money, guys. So I just said to him, I said, listen, man, I'm going to give you some samples of products. I know it's going to work for you. That's step 1. Step 2 is I'm going to follow up with you. Step 3, as I follow up with you and we get you results on these products, what are the odds other people that have had similar things going on with their health that we could leverage this health survey that you just filled out and we could get them to, want more information on the product? And he said, absolutely. I said, so that'll be step 4. And then step 5 is, as we do all of this, and it makes sense, if it makes sense down the road for you to capitalize a business with me, then we'll use the retail profit from those customers to capitalize a business. If it doesn't make sense, and we use the retail profit for that to pay for your product so it isn't costing you any money because you don't have any money. Does this all sound awesome? Joe was like, sounds awesome to me. And I'm like, awesome. And that's where I went with it, you guys. So that's going to be more of a process than somebody's like, go now, like, let's go, let's kill this thing. Like, I mean, But it doesn't matter because I went the path that fit Joe.
And it is really that simple. You can go retail route, you can go any which direction with the business, and no matter what is coming up, that's always the next step. Do you guys get this? Do we spark enough interest with you to get more information? Yes, you did. Fantastic. The next step is we actually have we have a home business presentation coming up next Thursday. We have, Dr. Cheryl doing this, or we have whatever the next speaker is doing this. Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great way for you to look at the business again. Why don't you bring a couple of people to put another set of eyes on this? They can evaluate it with you. Go ahead and bring them. I'll pick you guys up. And if tonight's Sunday and they commit to Thursday night for the HBP, I'm also going to send you home with a 22-minute video, Colin, and it's going to go through everything I went through with you. Tonight's Sunday, if I send you home with this video, do you think you could watch it in the next day or two? Yes?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, fantastic. Write down any questions that you have. Today's Sunday. I'll give you a call on Tuesday, answer the questions. I would love for you to meet my business partner, Melanie Nelson, to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I'm going to plug a little phone call in the middle, and on the phone call, we'll answer questions. That'll be one, answer his questions. Number 2 is he'll meet some of the team. We talk about the team, got to meet the team. And then number 3 is we'll confirm Thursday's HBP.
Yeah, and we're really cutting to the chase with a lot of this because some things we've shared on meet-ons and
Sure.
as you're piecing it all together, but we're trying to add to that, if you will, at this point,
Sure.
to add to answer questions a little more specifically. But in the end, you guys, the bottom line is we don't leave anything to chance. That's the bottom line. We're going to coach Joe on what to say to the people that he's going to talk to. Step by step, guys. We don't say, hey, just go invite people. We just said, this is what you're going to say. What did I say to you? This is what you said to me. And we say, does that sound like something you could say? And they said, yes. And I'm like, great. So Trin and I are always doing our best to frame things and do things in a manner that we know we can just turn around and have that person say the same exact thing. And that's about duplication.
It is. And you know what? There's no right or wrong way to do it. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And that's it.
And that's it.
So, is there any questions you want to enter on here?
We don't have any I guess we're hitting them all because nobody has any additional questions in here. So I guess we rocked it out. We killed it.
Okay.
10 o'clock, man.
10 o'clock.
That's it. So here it is. It's our final week. Week 12. We're going to check off all the boxes in our checklist. We're going to challenge ourselves. Don't let our brain take us out. Don't let that little voice take you out. Say, I don't know if I have time. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. Listen, forget all that. Focus on doing what you need to do in order to check off every single day. We're going to do a little bit every day, okay? And if you're going to err on one side or the other, err on the side of handing out some samples this week, okay? Because we know from our experience that is handing out samples in today's world and products that we have and what you're going to gain customers. You're going to gain exposure. You're going to gain interest, right? And that's what we do in our business. And you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to find out who on my list do I have that I can get to come with me to Greensboro.
To Greensboro. No matter what, even if you send a video, the 23-minute video to somebody, just, you know what, get a perfect score, get a perfect checklist this week. Do that for your future, do that for yourself, and yeah, pick up the phone. Biggest suggestion that we have is make some extra calls, guys, because you can seriously get somebody new to convention, and one new person can change your business like that.
That's it. Billionth of a volt. That's what we're looking for. Billionth of a volt to go off for everybody who's at International Convention with us. And again, we're going to make it an amazing, amazing weekend.
Yep.
Some new things in development that are amazing. So it's going to be awesome, you guys. We love you guys. And thank you again for jumping on here with us and trusting us with your guys' time.